Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation today of the 4 proven marketing systems every business must optimize to maximize revenue growth. And if that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes here, so hold on to your seat and we'll be right back. By the way, now's a great time if you'd like to get a drink of water or finish up that last second email, run to the restroom, any of that type of stuff. Please go ahead and do it now, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Thank you. I tell you what, while we're waiting for, as we're having more people sign up and sign in, I see quite a few sign ins already. Would you guys like to type into the chat box exactly where you're from? Mm-hmm. See who's signing in here. So, wait, is it Chris? Chris, welcome to the webinar. Chris E. Is it the same Chris that has the commercials? Our low prices? Yeah. Hey, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see, Jack in New Mexico. Thank you for registering. And Charlotte in Tennessee. Thank you. Welcome. Let's see. Steve says, looking forward to the presentation. Could really use the help. Well, we look forward to giving you some quality information here today. And thank you for coming on to the webinar. Let's see. See quite a few people registering or still logging in. And so for all of you guys that just logged in, welcome again, and we're going to get going in just another couple of minutes here, a couple of moments, and we still have a lot of people logging onto the presentation. So we're going to give everyone just a minute to get settled in, and then we'll get the ball rolling. Okay, guys? Yes, Gene in California, this is going to be a great webinar. Thank you for registering, by the way. Okay, hi, everyone, and welcome again. Well, we're going to get, let's just go ahead and get going. Again, this presentation today is the 4 proven marketing systems every business must optimize to maximize revenue growth. And I have a lot of information for you here today. So we're really going to hustle through the presentation, and I'm going to do my best to keep it just below an hour or so, as I promised in the email. So just a few logistics here before we get going. One, if you have any questions, please type them down in the box below. I'm really going to do my best to answer as many of those as I can. And at the end of this presentation, we're going to try and get to as many questions that we can. But for those that I don't get the opportunity to answer, rest assured that I will respond to you within the next 24 hours. So either myself or someone on my team is going to make sure that we get back to you. Also, we're going to be recording this presentation, so there's really no need to furiously scribbling notes. You should get a recording, and you can watch it as many times as you would like. So now, finally, let's see, any other logistics that I have on my list here? If you hover over the image of the presentation down here, there's a little box there. You can click that box and it'll expand the presentation into full screen mode on your computer, and it'll make it easier for you to view. At any time, you can just hit the escape and go back to the normal view where you can access the question box if you'd like to. Um, yeah, so that should be it for logistics. Let's go ahead and get going. In the next hour, I'm going to teach you how you can dominate your market and take your income to entirely new levels. You know, my name is Louis Palos, and I work entirely with small to medium-sized businesses, and I work with them to leverage marketing and technology to achieve maximum results. Now, all small businesses are constrained. You know, time, money, manpower. We're all hustling to do more with less, and I've really found that it's critical in order to get that maximum growth out of your business that you possibly can. You really have to take advantage of the marketing systems and technology that are out there so that you can that allow you to leverage the resources that you have to their fullest extent. Now, unfortunately, I have found that 95% of small businesses across just about any vertical or industry are missing at least 2 out of the 4 marketing systems we're going to cover today. And these systems are critical to achieve maximum growth. My bet is that amongst the folks who are on this presentation today, we have a lot of room for improvement. Now, why is that? Well, the competitive landscape has changed. And you know, particularly over the last 10 years, we've seen dramatic changes in the way that we do business due to technology, to the internet, and to software. The landscape has changed, and so has the way that your customers find and shop for your services or your products. Unfortunately, businesses, small businesses in particular, have been slow to adapt to these changes. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to cover what those major changes are, and we're going to talk about the important systems that you need to make sure that you have in place to capitalize on these changes. So, what are 3 big drivers of change that I mentioned? Well, there are social, mobile, and search. Now, I'm sure all these terms they're terms that you're probably already familiar with. However, you may not be exactly familiar with how these things are impacting your business, your consumers to desire to do business with you, and the decisions you need to make within your business to make sure that you're capitalizing on these changes. So let's go ahead and jump into them. Search. Search engines didn't even exist 15 years ago. Now they're just a part of the way that we operate. You know, every single day. It's easier than ever to find information about products, services, companies, people, places, whatever it is that you're looking for. Search engines are now accessible from multiple devices. We can access search from our computers, from our iPads or tablets, and of course from our smartphones, and now even when we're walking or driving around. So, you know, information really has become incredibly accessible, and the search engines have become the predominant way that people now find information about products and services. So it's no longer the yellow pages, it's the search engines. In fact, 92% of consumers have more confidence in the information that they find online than they do in anything else from a sales clerk or any other source. In other words, what this is saying is not only are we finding our information online, but we actually trust it more than we do the information we get directly from the source. And it just makes sense. I mean, when information is coming from a business directly, we feel like they're either selling or they're trying to advertise to us. So we have more faith in the information that we find within the search engines than we do from information directly from the business itself. Now, social is the second major factor, and if search engines have grown fast, well, then social media sites are just absolutely on fire. I mean, it's unbelievable the growth in social media. Connecting and sharing with others, sharing our opinions with others. It's never been so easy, and those opinions are highly, highly visible. People spend a lot of time in the search engines each and every day. So what's being shared with them is very, very visible and now very much a part of people's everyday lives. Now, because of that, the search engines are also paying attention. So Google, Bing, Yahoo, the MSN, they're all trying to find ways to capture the information that's being created and shared within social media sites to make sure that it's also being incorporated in the data that you receive from the search engines. The important thing that you really need to know about this is that it's easier than ever for people to create and share information about how they feel about your business, your products, and or your services. The content about your business that's out there on the web is largely not being created by you anymore. It's the consumers that are the publishers of that information. And that has had a major, major impact on how we do business. In fact, look at this statistic. 70% of consumers consulting reviews or ratings online before purchasing. Uh, that comes from a document called Zero Moment of Truth that was published by Google back in 2011. So social is having a huge impact on how people are making buying decisions. Now, the third major factor that we were talking about, the drivers of change, is mobile. And this may be the biggest game changer of all. Now, why is that? Well, it was one thing when we had access to all of this great information on our computers, but the reality is that most people are not sitting at their computers 24 hours a day. We're up and about, we're traveling around town, going to meetings or whatever it is that we're doing, shopping, whatever. Now we have access to all of this information in the palm of our hands, no matter where we are, and we're actually using it. Mobile search gives that immediate gratification people are looking for. So if you're not present on mobile, and if you don't understand how mobile is changing people's buying behavior, your competitors are going to eat your lunch. In fact, look at the statistics. Mobile search, it's quadrupled in the last year according to Google. In fact, 1 in 7 searches are now mobile. So you add all of this up, and it's easier than ever for a consumer to quickly research and compare various products and services. So this is a screenshot from a site called TripAdvisor. And I'm sure a lot of you have probably been to this site or maybe even had the opportunity to use it. TripAdvisor has become incredibly powerful in the hospitality industry because of all the reviews and the feedback that are posted on this site. It's about various hotels, restaurants, places to visit around the world that are out there. I know for me personally, when I travel and I plan a vacation, TripAdvisor is actually a place that I spend a lot of time doing my own research, and it really, really has had an impact on the decisions that I have made about the places that I want to stay. So the hospitality industry has been dramatically impacted by TripAdvisor and a lot of the other similar sites. But it's just not, it's not just the hospitality industry, it's all industries. The companies that get it, the companies that really understand these changes and know how to optimize the way that they work with these three factors are crushing the companies that don't. So the big question for you is, how do you strategically work with these three big drivers of change? How do you make sure that you come out on top in your industry? It means now, more than ever, you need to have a marketing plan that works. Now, when I talk to small businesses, they say the same thing pretty much. Man, there's just so much going on, and there's so much technology out there. There's so much change happening so fast. it's not like I have the time to sit around and study all this stuff and work on this stuff all day, every day. You know, how do I keep up? How do I make decisions about what I should be doing within my business? It, my approach is simple. My approach is to simplify the challenges that these businesses face and clarify the approach for success. And I do that by suggesting that there are only four key marketing systems that you must maximize in your business. Now, I refer to this as the R4 marketing approach or the R4 framework, and you can see it here. It's just a very simple triangle. You can see that it's called the R4 marketing framework. Each of those words begin with the letter R, and the triangle actually starts at the bottom with reputation, and then there's reach, and then there's resell, and then referral. And now that's an all-important arrow that's pointing back down to your reputation. The idea, excuse me, the idea behind this triangle is at the base of it is reputation. Reputation is what people think about us and about our business, our products, and or our services. And now we all know that reputation has always been important in business, but it's now more important than ever. And I'm going to explain why here. But the big reason why is because it's never been easier for people to share what they feel about your business online. And that information about your reputation, those feelings about your reputation, and how you deliver your products and services can now spread like wildfire. Next is reach. Now, reach is making sure that you're getting in touch with more of your qualified prospects every single day. It's pretty obvious that you want to grow your business, and you need to get more of your targeted prospects to know who you are. So if they don't know who you are, they can't buy from you. So reach is the process and the systems we use to get in touch with more people or more prospects and let them know about your business. So then there's resell. Now, resell is making sure that we maximize the lifetime value of every customer we get by continuing to resell products and services. Now, we want to upsell. You want to, sell them to something more expensive. Maybe cross-sell them to other complementary products and services. So, resell, upsell, cross-sell, side sell to maximize the lifetime value of a client or a customer. And then finally, there's referral. And we all know how valuable referrals are. 10 years ago, we could just grow our business through referrals alone, through all the positive word of mouth we were getting out there in the marketplace. Now that word of mouth has moved to social media, the easiest and best way to grow our business has changed. Unfortunately, word of mouth just isn't enough anymore. There are oftentimes so much more we can be doing to generate predictable referrals within our business if we are proactive and thoughtful about our approach. So those are the R's of the 4R framework and the idea behind it. Again, is keeping it simple, keeping it focused. Because if you focus on enhancing your reputation at your business, reaching out to new prospects every day, reselling, upselling, and cross-selling those customers that you already have, and then delivering a fantastic customer service experience so that you get more referrals, well, those referrals are essentially people saying positive things about you, which is going to enhance your reputation and make this whole process easier to move up the pyramid. So by focusing on the 4Rs, we can achieve maximum growth at your business. In fact, we have found that if you focus on any one of these 4Rs, you can have a 25% annual growth just on one R alone. And that's just in any business. Now, but maximizing and optimizing all four of them is where you can get 100% growth or more. So there really is a compounding effect. And that's why we always say that we can double your sales in 12 months or less. And this is where you see those businesses in any industry that just seem to be growing much faster than the rest of the industry, and they seem to be doing everything right. Well, those businesses are maximizing these four R's. Whether they're conscious of it or not, they've hit the nail on the head. They're maximizing, and may not, they're maximizing maybe not all of the four R's, maybe three out of the four, and that's allowing them to grow much faster than the rest of their industry. But like I said, you can see that in any industry or vertical out there. So let's go ahead and dive into each of these, and let's talk specific strategies and tactics to make sure that you're maximizing each one of these four R's. And let's go ahead and start with reputation. So there's a reason that reputation is at the base of the pyramid. I really do believe that it is the foundation of marketing going forward. Now, why is that? Well, it's easier than ever for consumers to find the feedback of other consumers to help them make a decision about who to buy from. And you'll see all kinds of sites out there that actually rate businesses. There's all of the Yelps of the world. Google Plus Local actually has ratings built into the search engine. I showed you TripAdvisor earlier. There's all kinds of ways for people to review businesses and review products and services and to find out what other people are thinking. In fact, 70% of consumers say that feedback that they find online is the number two factor in making a decision about who to work with, who to visit, or who to buy from. Now, 7 out of 10 who read the reviews that they find online share them with their friends, their family, and their colleagues. So these reviews are getting passed around, and now that we live in this social world, 74% of U.S. consumers say that they choose to do business based on online feedback. The reality is that everyone out there is talking. The question is, who's talking about you? And what are they saying? Because make no mistake, they're talking. I like the title of this book from Pete Blackshaw. Satisfied customers tell 3 friends, angry customers tell 3,000. Now, you may have heard something along the lines before that an angry or dissatisfied customer would tell 10 people for every 1 person that a satisfied customer would tell. Well, now, due to social media, those reviews and negative feelings are so easy to pass around that the unhappy customers that post online, they get on social media sites and they tell thousands of their closest strangers on the internet. So people are talking about you and they're talking about your business. Who are these people? Are they customers, prospects, competitors, disgruntled employees, ex-spouses, former business partners and investors? And then there's what we call the trolls, which are just the permanently aggrieved. These are the people that just love to get online and beat up businesses, and it seems like for no good reason. This gentleman is a perfect example of the way people are out there talking about businesses and sharing their feelings about businesses. You can see this gentleman has a video camera attached to the dashboard of his car. He's driving away from a restaurant that he just had a meal at, and he's leaving a restaurant review while he's driving away from the restaurant. And you might think, well, big deal. Let this guy say whatever he wants. But who's going to pay attention to that anyway? Well, you may be able to see down below the video there that 35,000 people have viewed this video. So people are really paying attention to this kind of information, and you just can't ignore it. In fact, the reviews are now at the center of search. This is a copy of a TechCrunch article saying that Google acquires Zagat to flush out local reviews. And I'm sure you're all familiar with the Zagat guys. the books that were published to review bars, restaurants, and hotels all over the world. For people traveling to new cities, these guys were indispensable for a very long time. The value they had was that all of these other people's ratings, consumers and reviews, captured in the book, so that if you were traveling to a new city for the first time, you could find places that you thought would be best to go visit and kind of lower your risk of getting lost in the new city and ending up in the wrong sort of places. Well, Google realized that that was the most important information they could present to their searchers to help them make their buying decisions. So it was the opinions of other people, and there's a really good reason for that. The data shows that 90% of online consumers trust recommendations from people they know, which makes sense. I mean, we all trust those recommendations we get from friends and family. But look at this. 70% of online consumers trust unknown users, people we don't even know, while only 14% of online consumers trust advertising. So there's really a huge gap between the advertising that we're doing to get customers and how people trust that versus the reviews of other people. And that's why Google bought Zagat and is now incorporating reviews at the center of the search engines. This is a screenshot that I did, and I just typed in Denver plumbers into the search engines or into Google, and just to see what comes up. Well, what comes up are the Google local listings. As you know, if you do a search for any business in Google now, or any category of business like Denver plumber, excuse me, or pizza Denver, or pizza restaurant Denver, or anything like that, you'll see these local reviews, and the local reviews will have the local businesses there in that category. They'll have the addresses, the phone numbers. You can actually click to call if you're on a mobile phone. There will be an image of a map to show you exactly where they're located. But what the most important thing is, everything that I've circled in the red is a review score of these businesses based on the reviews of the past customers of that business. Now, what's really, really frightening is this is an interesting case study here is the second plumbing company, Applewood Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. They spend an awful lot of money on marketing in the Denver area. And you can see by all the ads they run and things like that. So they're spending a lot of money. However, look at the review score that Applewood has from previous customers. They have 3 out of 30 on 52 reviews. Now, that by any measure is a failing grade. 3 out of 30. So they're spending all of that money on marketing to drive people largely to the search engines, because people in the search, they search in the search engines before they make decisions to buy. And what do they see? They see that the far majority of Applewood's past customers that have gone on here and left a review are completely dissatisfied, and that they did not like the service. And I think you can now see why I say that reputation is the foundation of marketing going forward. It doesn't matter what Applewood Plumbing does with their marketing at this point. All they're doing is driving people to see negative reviews about their business. So how would you feel if you went and searched about this business and here were the reviews that you found? Port-a-fair, Port-a-fair, Port-a-fair. If you read the details of the reviews, they're largely just beating up Applewood Plumbing for poor service. Poor Applewood Plumbing. I mean, no matter what it does with the rest of its marketing, no matter how well it does with all of the other 3 R's, it's going to run head on into some serious problems. But there's no way they're going to be able to grow their business because of their poor reputation. So your goal is to make sure that you have a 5-star reputation at your business. And that should be your first goal, is to make sure that you have that 5-star reputation. So how do you do that? Well, I think most important and the most important and controllable thing that you can do, besides, of course, making sure that you deliver great products and services, which you absolutely should be focused on, the next step is to contribute. Contribute to the conversation about your business in a meaningful way. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that you can't control what people are saying about your company. It's largely up to the individuals. No matter how good of a job you do with your products and services, some people are going to say negative things. It's just a fact of being in business. But you can make sure that you're adding enough good content to the conversation so that it's taking place online, so that you can ensure the ratio of the positive content out there versus the negative content out there is in your favor. What I mean by that is you should strategically make sure that you are getting content online that is supportive of your brand and positive about your brand, so that when a consumer does do a search, they find good things about your company and not just a bunch of bad reviews. Now, the first step in doing this is taking ownership of your profiles and all of your key directories and networks. And what I mean by directories and networks, I'm talking about sites like Yelp, as I mentioned before, LinkedIn, Google Plus local listings. I just showed you a minute ago that they're absolutely most important, since those are a part of Google's search engine. But depending on what business you're in, maybe a site like TripAdvisor, absolutely Facebook, Twitter, and things like that. Now, if you want to make sure that you have a company presence where you need to have it, that you've taken control of that presence, and that you're making sure that the information in these listings and on these directory sites is complete and it's accurate. You may not even realize it, but you have a company listing in just about all of these sites already, and many more. The super pages, the yellow page sites online, they've all created listings just about for every business out there. But if you have not taken control of it, it means that the information that's out there may be wrong and it may be incomplete. You may be getting bad reviews from customers that not even having a chance to respond to them. So you really have to take ownership of those profiles to make sure that you can control the message that's on there. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to publish your own story about your business. You want to make sure that you make your own news. You want to post on good, positive, helpful subjects that's really going to help your clients or your customers, your prospects, your patients, depending on your vertical. And you want to add social media sharing buttons to all of that content so that you can make sure that people can spread the good word about your business. So how do you do that? Here's a couple of examples here. Making education videos and post them to YouTube. Now, video is incredibly powerful. Video is continuing to grow at just an absolutely amazing rate. Look at this statistic. Any given video stands about a 50 times better chance of appearing on the first page of Google or in the search engines than any given text page. Now, why is that? That's because the search engines are smart. They've studied the data, and they've seen that searchers who find a video are generally more engaged with that content than they are with text content. People like to watch videos more than they like to read. So the search engines are showing more and more videos in the search engines to be relevant to what people are looking for. Now, if you can create content about your business, which I'm telling you, any business can create a good video content to share with their customers. Creating video content will give you a real leg up in the search engines and is a great way to connect with your prospects and your customers. In fact, having a video on your website can increase your conversions by 300%. Now, next, you should build up a review collection system for your business. And you don't want to just leave it to chance that people are going to give you positive reviews about your business. You want to be absolutely proactive and methodical about getting positive reviews and referrals within your business, and to make sure that those things are getting published online. Here's a fascinating stat here. Reviews on a site can boost conversions by 20%, which just means that if people go to your site and they find a positive review there, they're 20% more likely to purchase something or to contact you when they see that positive review. So you want to make sure that you are proactive in capturing the feelings of positive, satisfied customers and making sure that those feelings are getting shared online. So the big takeaway here regarding reputation, reputation is now the foundation of effective marketing. It's no longer enough to do good work, and it's no longer enough to have good products and or services. You know, those things of course are important, but you must proactively develop and market your reputation online. You have to make sure that those good feelings about your products and your services and your business end up online so that other people can find them. So that's reputation. Now let's talk about reach next. Now, as I said, you know, when you have that positive reputation, you want to make sure that you're reaching out to as many prospects as you possibly can, and to let them know the good work, the good word about you and your products and your services. And if you're not reaching out to more prospects every day, then the chances of you growing your business long term are pretty slim to none. So let's talk about reach via social media. There are obviously all kinds of ways to reach your target prospects and customers. And I mean, there's direct mail, there's doing radio advertising, TV advertising, sponsoring local events. There's tons of ways. But what we're going to dive into here is really starting with social media. Now, social media is just incredible, the growth that it has experienced. 712% since 2005. Now, that's probably just about the time frame, maybe a year after Facebook was kind of coming into the scene. And since then, the growth has just been ridiculously fast. In fact, 66% of adult internet users across social media, in, wait, excuse me. Sorry, 66% of adult internet users access social media, and in 2005, this was true of only about 8%. So as you can see, I'm not an actor. I do make mistakes in these presentations. Now, as of January 2014, there are now 180 million plus Facebook users in the United States alone. And there's over a billion throughout the world. Billion with a B. Now, Facebook is now one of the largest countries in the world. So, chances are, no matter who your target audience is, you can reach them on Facebook. I know a lot of you probably think that Facebook, it is a viable advertising opportunity for you, but I hope to, you probably don't think that Facebook is a viable advertising opportunity, but I hope to challenge you on that, because I've seen Facebook work in just about every industry out there. And let's talk about 6 reasons why you should advertise on Facebook. The first one is reach. Now, as I said, just a massive number of people are on social media sites, particularly Facebook. You can reach huge numbers of every group of consumer out there, every type of person out there. And Facebook and social media give you multiple ways to engage with them. So again, whatever industry you're in, whatever group you're going after, I'm positive that you can reach them on Facebook. Next is precision targeting. Facebook's advertising interface is absolutely amazing. If you've never run ads in there, you really should jump in there just to see. I mean, you can target people by location, including zip codes and area codes, by age, which, by the way, the fastest growing population on Facebook right now are women aged 55 to 74. You can also target by birthday, education, and not just education like, they were a college graduate, You can actually target specific classes at specific universities. You can target them based on the connections that they have, based on their demographic information, based on their interests, and psychographic information, even on things like their relationship status. You can get really, really precise in the way that you target people in Facebook. Third reason is cost control. Cost control is super important, particularly for small businesses. You can advertise on Facebook for as little as $20 to $25 a day. So you can control how much you spend for each and every campaign. The budgets can be extremely low. And as I said, and because of that, better targeting, you're getting less wasted ad spend because you're really doing a sniper rifle precision shot at the people that you're trying to reach versus just kind of doing a shotgun blast to everybody that you typically do in more of a mass media, direct response mail piece advertising form. So that's space to number 4 here, cost efficiency. So you have that precision targeting. You also have incredible level of measurability. And everything you're doing in online advertising can be measured, which means that it can be optimized. So for dollar, there's really no better way to get the word out than through digital media or internet advertising platforms. So the fifth reason, Facebook is, or excuse me, simplicity. Facebook in particular is very simple to use. It has a great user interface that makes it just a real breeze to set up and get going. And if you've used Google AdWords in the past, it is much, much easier than that. So a very simple and nice, it's just such a simple and nice advertising platform. You know, One of the most powerful things, maybe the most powerful thing about advertising on Facebook is the idea of interest targeting, which is our sixth reason to advertise on Facebook. Now, typically in advertising, what you can do is to target people by demographic information, like where they live, how old they are, how much income they make, things like that. But advertising starts to become so much more powerful when you can reach people based on their interest. So that's the power of Facebook. I mean, everybody that's in Facebook posts, everything. They post everything about their life and the things that they like, the things that they don't like, the places they like to go visit. All that good stuff gets posted in Facebook. So now you can customize your advertising to really target that information, which just makes it really, really powerful. So let me share with you one of the most powerful ways to advertise on Facebook that every business should be taking advantage of. And these are called sponsored story ads. Now, sponsored story ads are essentially convert a user's activity into ads and display the ads to the friends of that user. Now, I know that's a mouthful, so let me explain what I mean. If you hop onto your Facebook account, you will see, let's see, sorry, the slide switched on me. If you hop onto your Facebook account, you will see more than likely you're going to find one of those sponsored stories in your news feed within a couple of minutes. And you can see here in this case, Jessica Gronsky. She was at Starbucks and she liked Starbucks. Well, Starbucks paid Facebook to turn that into an ad to show all of Jessica's friends that she liked Starbucks. Anytime you like something on Facebook, that can be turned into an ad and shown to your network of friends on Facebook. Now, why would Starbucks want to do that? Well, because Starbucks knows that Jessica and her friends have things in common. Starbucks knows that they should show that Jessica likes Starbucks to all of her friends and family, and most likely they're going to get other people to like Starbucks as well. These sponsored story ads typically they're geared to increase the likes for your business. So if you have a Facebook profile for your business, You can get a whole lot of likes from more people, and it's almost like having people added to your email list. It's a really nice advertising vehicle that tightly fits in how people actually use Facebook. And it doesn't really show up as this big ad per se. It just kind of fits into the rest of the things that are displayed in your news stream. Most importantly, you're now targeting people, excuse me, based on psychographics versus just demographics. So, as we talked about before, and Jessica and her friends, they tend to have common interests. That's what friends do. So, you're now getting the benefit of targeting specifically other people that have similar psychographic profiles as the person who just liked your page. So, this is really incredibly powerful. In fact, Facebook sponsored story ads have an 18% lower cost per fan than direct ads. And they have a 53% higher click through rate than direct ads. So it's really powerful form of advertising, and it's powerful, like I said, based on the idea that you're sharing somebody's specific experience with your brand with other people who are much more likely to like your brand as well than just the general population that you would normally be advertising to. So the ads, they end up being much more effective. So this is a super powerful and very simple form of advertising that you can take advantage of on Facebook. So the big takeaway here is your audience really is socially active online, no matter who you're targeting. If you're not reaching them via social media, I'm telling you that your competitors are. Now, this is a simple form of advertising. It's very accessible and it's extremely easy to do. And it doesn't take a lot of money and it's not very time consuming. So all of you should be actually taking advantage of it. Next, let's talk about reach via mobile. As I said before, mobile may be the biggest game changer of all of the three big factors: search, social, and mobile. And let's talk about why that is. Um, Mobile searches have quadrupled in the last year, according to Google. 1 in 7 searches is actually now mobile, and the average user, spends an average of 2 hours a day on their mobile phone. Now, that number really seems light to me, and it's probably because I'm one of those people. They refer to people as having nomophobia, which is the fear of being out of mobile phone contact. In fact, almost 66% of smartphone subscribers admit to sleeping with their phones. And I actually have to admit, I'm one of these people. I mean, I have my phone with me at all times, and I'm checking it all the time. Mobile phones and smartphones really have become something that people just have attached to the hip. So reaching people via mobile is incredibly important, particularly if you're running a business that is local in nature. So 1 in 3 excuse me, 1 in 3 mobile searches are local in nature, which means that they're looking for the local restaurant or the local pizza shop and trying to find driving directions or the phone number or what have you. Now, after looking up a business via mobile, 61% result in a phone call and 59% result in a visit. So people they're really taking immediate action when they search for a business on their mobile device. 6 in 10 prospects have said that they will leave your site if your website is not mobile friendly. And 52% of users say a bad mobile experience makes them much less likely to engage with a business. So your goal is to have a mobile friendly website that can be easily found and the information on it be easily accessed. So this is a good example of a mobile site that's not easy. If you're looking at this on your mobile phone, look at all that text. It's not easy to read, it's not easy to navigate, and unfortunately, this actually comes from a website designer, which really isn't a good sign. Here are a couple of good examples of how you can make a mobile site much more easy to use and accessible. You can see on the left-hand side, again, this site called, How to Designs. This was their before picture, and you can see a lot of small text, and it's cluttered, and then navigate through, really hard to understand what you're looking at. Versus on the right side is the redesign, where they're taking advantage of these big buttons, clear images, very limited text, make it easy for someone to navigate through their site. So you really want to do the same for your business. You want to make sure that you're easily found on mobile devices because, again, so many searches are now taking place on a mobile device. You have to make sure that your website is ready to be viewed on those mobile for those by those mobile searchers, or you're really going to be missing out on a ton of customer visibility. So the big takeaway here: consumers don't want to be disconnected from their phones. This addiction gives you a chance to stay connected to consumers wherever they go. You have the opportunity to reach your audience without making them step out of their daily routines. If they can just pick up their phone, pick up their mobile device, and find your business easily and connect by making a phone call or getting directions to your location, then they are much more likely to work with you. All right, so the third R is resell. Again, that actually encompasses reselling, upselling, and cross-selling. Anything you're doing there to make sure that once you get a customer, you're maximizing the lifetime value of that customer. So let's talk about resell via mobile, just real quick. Mobile, as I said, may be the biggest factor of the three that we need to be paying attention to. 87% of Americans have a mobile phone. 23% say it's their number one most used technology device. 25% of all U.S. households have ditched their landlines. They don't have home phones altogether. I know I did this several years ago, and mobile has just become a part of our culture. So how do you resell via mobile? Well, I think SMS text messaging is one of the most powerful ways that I've seen to date and can be used by so many businesses. SMS or text messages are just those text messages that you send and receive on your phone. And there were 6.1 trillion text messages sent and received back in 2010, and that number has grown dramatically. SMS or text messages are capable of reaching 91% of the U.S. population because that it has a capability that is built into almost every single mobile phone that's made. So why use text messages? Well, instant deliverability for one. I mean, those messages will instantly arrive. It's very flexible, very easy to use platform. Your customers have very easy ways to opt in and opt out. They can get off your list if they really don't want it. So make sure you're playing by the rules. But there are very high open and conversion rates, meaning just about everybody opens their text messages and they take action on what they find. So text messages are very, very low effort to create and to send, and it's super simple with just a little bit of text. So the reality is, the reasons to use text messages that I mentioned, the results are super powerful. I mean, 97% of all marketing texts are open. 95 to 98% of those text messages are read within minutes of receipt. Now, compare that to email. And we should all, know the power of email marketing. And if you don't, email marketing is just a massive, massive business generator. But 33% of email addresses change on a yearly basis, which really makes it difficult to keep in touch with people via email. So if you look at the open rates for email, the average open rates for email are down now around 5%. Only 5% of emails actually get open compared to 97% of all text messages that are getting open. So it's easier to reach them, it's more effective way to reach them, and people are keeping their cell phone numbers for life. So if you have a list that lasts for a very, you will have a list that lasts for a very, very long time. So, text messages is incredibly powerful. Now, let's talk about a few specific ways that businesses could use text messages. One is appointment reminders. So if you have any type of business where you're relying upon appointments, let's say a dental office, chiropractic office, massage therapist, things like that, where people set an appointment and then come to your business. Well, as you know, no-shows are a huge killer of profitability within your business. I mean, if people don't show up for their appointment, that's just an hour you've wasted where you could have taken care of another paying customer. Uh, SMS reminders sent to their cell phones prior to their appointment are shown to reduce no-shows by 50% or more, which means that you can save a ton of money and put it back into your business or into your pocket. So, text reminders delivered right to those phones are a great way to get people to show up for their appointments. Now, mobile coupons are another very powerful form of marketing that most businesses can take advantage of. Mobile coupons are 10 times more likely to be redeemed than traditional coupons. So you're getting people to take much, much more action with mobile coupons than traditional print coupons. And then geo-targeting. Now, geo-targeting means that you can automatically send text coupons to people when they're within the vicinity of a certain geographic location. Now, how powerful is that? I mean, if somebody's within 5 miles of your pizza shop, let's say, you can send them a message saying, hey, you're close. Keep on coming. Come on in and pick up your nice hot pizza. You know, how powerful is this? I mean, really, it's just amazing that you can literally target people based on where they are. It doesn't have to be just your business. I mean, what if you're within 5 miles, or what if they're within 5 miles of a competitor? Maybe that's when you want to send them your coupon or your ad to get them to pay attention to you instead of your competition. And it just makes sense. I mean, so text messages, they're super powerful. It's the most popular form of communication among consumers on electronic devices, and your audience is almost guaranteed to get and to read your text messages. Every business should begin building their text list today so that they can explore the marketing opportunities that are out there via SMS. Now, okay. So the fourth R, moving on. The fourth R is referral. Again, referral is getting those customers to say good things about you and to share the good word about your products and your services and your business to other prospects in your marketplace. Now, this is the easiest way to get new customers. And when you get a good hot referral, and you get those people to come in that are already pre-sold, we'd all take as many of these as we could possibly get, right? In fact, the New York Times says that 65% of new business comes from referrals, and 41% of businesses count on referrals for over 80% of their sales. So, and referrals are incredibly important. The question is how can you proactively drive referrals instead of just hoping that they come to you? One of my favorite sayings in business is that hope is not a strategy. We want to have a proactive method to drive referrals instead of just hoping we're going to get more. And to do that, you really need to understand that good customer service doesn't always equate to referrals. In fact, 83% of satisfied customers say that they're willing to refer products and services, but only 29% actually do. Now, why is that? Well, it really doesn't matter the reason why. What matters is that you must leverage a proactive referral system if you're going to get more of these referrals. You obviously just can't leave it up to the consumers, because even though 83% said they would, only 29% actually do. Word of mouth is based off of chance, and versus a referral system, which is something that's predictable, that's consistent, and that's repeatable, that you control. A referral system is a methodical process that captures qualified prospects through your association with people. So, how do you generate referrals and create a repeatable system? The simple answer: ask for them. 91% of clients would give a good referral, but have never been asked. Most of us just do not take the time to actually ask for people to share their feelings, with their friends and family about their experiences with our business or with your business and with your products and your services. And, it's really pretty straightforward. I mean, you have to incorporate the message about your referral opportunities into referral cards, whether they be postcards, social media, your website. You make sure that your happy customers see them and let the opportunities to refer your business again. Because again, if it's difficult at all, or if they feel like they haven't been asked, then they will not leave a referral. And it's been proven that if you just give people a simple opportunity to share their good feelings about your business, then a much higher percentage of people will actually do so. Uh, you know, Let me share with you a couple examples. Here's a direct mail piece. It says, "Hey Turkey, give thanks to yourself with some free months." This just says refer some friends to the Dollar Shave Club, and you'll get a free month of Shave Club razors for every friend that you sign up. Now, any business could take advantage of this. Super simple. This just comes in their package when the razors come to your house. Now, you can do this online. Incorporate referral requests into contests, coupons, other viral promotions on your website, on social media pages, such as this one from the REI Facebook, so that the good things that people say about you can virally be spread to other people. So the big takeaway here: referrals are great, but are hard to depend on if you cannot make them predictable. So it's your job to design a repeatable system that captures the referrals when your customers are thrilled. When they're happy when they're happy, you want to take advantage of their happiness by giving them a simple vehicle to share those positive feelings with others. So you just have to make it easy, and make it as easy as possible, and you just have to ask. So those are the four levels of the R4 marketing framework: reputation, reach, resell, and referral. And I hope you can see that just by focusing on these four areas, maximizing and optimizing these four areas, we can take your business to dramatically higher levels of growth, or you can take your business. So, are you doing everything that you can to grow your business? Well, the far majority of times when I ask that question, the answer is no. Why is that? Well, again, we're a small business, we're resource constrained. Many times it's just a lack of awareness of the options that are available to you, or it's a lack of time, budget, manpower, maybe expertise within your company. You're busy creating whatever product or service that is that you do for a living, and you don't have the time to think about or implement all of these new marketing strategies and systems within your company. Well, what's the problem with that? The problem is the gap between those that really get it and are taking advantage of the online marketing strategies, the technology, taking advantage of the search, the social, and the mobile that we discussed. But the gap between those that get it and those that don't is widening. The companies that are taking advantage of these three factors with proven marketing systems are crushing their competition. So when I speak to small businesses out there, about this topic, and those that have that have gone through this presentation or something similar to it, I find that 90% realize that they aren't growing like they should. Just about every small business owner out there that I speak to says the same thing. Yeah, man, we should be doing more. We're not growing as fast as we'd like. It's been tough years. My favorite. It's been a tough economy. I'm not making the money that I need to. And that's a common theme amongst almost every business owner that I speak with. But only 50% of those people realize that they need to make a change. And what I mean by that is so many small business owners think, oh, it's the economy or somebody else has some product or service, it gives them a real advantage and that's why I'm not growing. Well, honestly, in most cases, it's not the economy. It's not the products or the services you're competing against. Every small business out there that I see has the opportunity to grow much faster than they currently are, regardless of the economic conditions or the competitive forces. The challenge is that you have to take advantage the challenge is that you have to make that change. Don't wait around for the economy to get better. You have to look at your business and say, am I taking full advantage of these marketing systems or not? And if not, what could I be doing better? How could I be starting this today? That's the issue. Only 20% realize that being strategic about their marketing is the difference. As I said, it's not the products and services that, most of you have great products, great services. It's not the economy. In fact, I increased my marketing budget, and in 2006 I had another business, and the economy took a downturn. I actually increased my marketing budget and raised my prices, and I never felt a hit. I only had a 5% attrition rate or churn rate in clientele. So you really can't tell me that it's the economy. I just won't listen. Really what it comes down to, in every industry right now, there is a business that's growing like wildfire in spite of a bad economy or tough economic conditions. So, it's taking advantage of all the marketing systems and the capabilities that are out there for your business to optimize and fuel your growth. So if you're a part of that 20% that realize that you need to make a change, the 20% that is absolutely committed to creating maximum growth at your business and recognizes that, yeah, the economy may be tough. Yeah, there may be tough competition out there, but really, there are a lot of things that I can control and that I should be doing better. So if you're one of those people, I would love to get to know you and your business better. Now, this isn't a hard sales pitch, In fact, this isn't even an invitation to work together. I'm very, very selective about who I work with, and there are all kinds of factors that go into making a decision about who I will work with. But regardless, if you're of the mindset of being a really growth-oriented business owner and a growth-oriented entrepreneur, and you are committed to finding that growth no matter what it takes, then we're similar people, and I would really love to get to know you because that community of people is a whole lot of fun. I mean, we're very energetic, and we're really doing positive things in our economy, in our communities, and for our own individual businesses. So, that's what I'm passionate about, and I'd totally love to connect with you on this subject. So again, if you're one of those 20%, I'd love to connect. I've made it easy for you. You'll see a little button below this presentation that will take you to an opportunity to connect with me so that we can get to know each other a little bit better. All right, so I see that we're coming up to, we're coming up very closely at the end of the hour, and I appreciate your time and your attention. And there's a number of questions that have come in. Um, Actually, it looks like we may have gone a little bit over the hour. Before I go into these questions, I really want to thank you for attending this webinar, and I just wanted to say, you know, as a free gift for attending this webinar, and if you're one of those people that if you truly believe you're part of that 20%, for a limited time, we're offering a complete diagnostic report of your total online presence. Now, this is over a $700 value, because it does include a 1 hour in-person screen share consultation explaining details of the 12 separate reports that we run for you. Now, the reports include your YouTube stats analysis, your Google Maps rank analysis, local listings checkers, your Google Spider View to see how you're showing in search, social buzz analysis, keyword density, broken links, malware safety, SEO grade, bank site audit, marketing grade, mobile responsive to see if you're mobile friendly. So, it's a full service report. Now, once again, this report isn't an invitation to do business. This report is something that you can actually take to your current webmaster and let them make the changes for you. But if you would like your free report, feel free to use the button below this video and give us a call or contact us. So, going back to the questions here, let's see. All right, let's see. First one comes from Julie. Julie says, we have a restaurant. What do you think about using deal sites like Groupon and Living Social? Julie, I've really got mixed feeling about those types of deal sites. Here's the reason why. The deal sites themselves, they're not bad. In fact, they're super powerful, and you can get a flood of customers coming in your way. But the problem is that most small businesses have completely failed to capitalize on that flood of new business that's coming in. So now you're getting a whole bunch of new customers, but they're paying you way much less money, and you're giving away a lot of that money to Groupon or to Living Social, to those daily deal sites. And if you don't have the right follow-up systems to effectively resell, cross-sell, or upsell, and you're not capturing the reviews of those happy customers, then really I wouldn't be using one of those sites. Now, if you're doing all of these deals correctly, and these deal sites can really be fantastic. I mean, the problem is that most businesses I meet with, they're not doing those things effectively, and then those deal sites can be a real challenge. In fact, disappointing for most. You can drive a flood of cheaper customers to your business, so you really have to be careful. And I do say though, there are sites out there other than Groupon or Living Social that give you much more control over the whole deals process, that allow you to keep higher margins and allow you to limit the number of people who get these coupons to a certain number, so you don't lose any profit margins. But if you do that and you put all of the 4 R's in place that we've discussed today, then these can actually be extremely powerful. Let's see here. Okay, second is from Jim. Jim says, which of the 4 R's do you think is the most important to focus on? And Jim, maybe you zoned out during part of the presentation that focused on reputation. I really believe that reputation is the foundation of marketing today. So generally speaking, I'd have to say the reputation is the most important thing to focus on. Now, that being said, every business is different. I mean, I meet with a lot of businesses every day, and they have fantastic reputations, but the business isn't growing because they're not implementing any of the other R's. So if you already have a fantastic reputation and you're not growing, then I would start looking at your reach and your resell and your referrals. I hope that makes sense for you. Let's see here. Sarah says, we have some of the best products in our industry. Customers rave about them, but we aren't growing as fast as we want to. What gives? Well, Sarah, this is exactly what I was just mentioning from Jim's question. If you already have a great reputation, and if people are saying great things about your products and services, but you're not growing as fast as you should, the reason why is because you're not using the other R's. Now that you have a fantastic reputation, you should be finding new ways to reach out to new prospects every day, so that way you can maximize the use of that reputation. And customers that you're getting, you should be doing everything you can to maximize their lifetime value through effective upsells, cross sells, reselling, what have you. Now, again, it really sounds like you have some great products, and that's fantastic. I mean, we need to look at the other R's. It's not just enough to have one system working for you. We really need to look at the other R's and see how we can maximize the results and see what you're getting from those. You know, oh crud. Okay, guys. I see a few more questions here, but I see that we've gone over, and I want to stay true to my commitment and try to keep it as short as possible. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I will get out to all of you who have unanswered questions, and make sure that we follow up you directly within 24 hours of this presentation. So either somebody on my team will or myself will get in touch with you personally. And again, if you're focused on growth, and if you can recognize these challenges within your business and say that I'm not growing as I'd like to be, I feel I should be, I'm sorry, if if I'm not growing as much as I'd like to be and I feel I should be, then I'd like for you to talk to me or somebody on my team about how you can potentially address that within your company. We'd really love to hear from you and love to have a conversation to see if there's some sort of fit. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to attending our presentation today, and we'll look forward to speaking with all of you soon. So the big takeaway here regarding reputation, reputation is now the foundation of effective marketing. It's no longer enough just to do good work, and it's no longer enough to have good products or good services. Those things, of course, are important, but you must proactively